Hi, I'm Edie Hand, and welcome into Prescription for Healthy Lifestyles. I hope you've been checking us out on our website at rxhealthylife.com. Well, we've got a terrific show for you today. We have Dr. Keith Robinson, and he's going to share his story on his interview with Jesus. We've got Brice Marsh, who's going to tell us about keeping Christmas alive. You won't want to miss it, so stay with us right after these messages. Prescription for Healthy Lifestyles is brought to you in part by Florida Pharmacy, a unique pain solutions company. Hi, I'm Edie Hand, and I'm here with Wes Moss, who's the President CEO of FPS. Tell us about pain solutions.
Well, we are a pharmacy that specializes in pain creams. Anything from TMJ to plantar fasciitis to fibromyalgia to arthritis to neuropathy pains. As we say, we have a cream for that. It gets people off opioids and gets them off the side effects of taking pills.
And how could we reach you?
At 855-777-7998.
Hi, I'm Edie Hand, and Lauren Miller and I have had to face two really strong stresses: divorce and cancer.
All at the same time, and that's why we're dedicated to providing you communities that champion you into personal excellence with a community of support along with a skill set to help you handle the everyday stressors.
That's right.
So when you join GenuineProGirls.com, then you'll get the code to come on over and waive the initial tuition fee at StressSolutionsUniversity.com. Come and join us and build your skill set to champion life.
You're watching Prescription for Healthy Lifestyles with Edie Hand.
Hi, I'm Edie Hand, and welcome back into Prescription for Healthy Lifestyles. We're talking with Dr. Keith Robinson. Keith, you have done a lot of things, I understand, in your lifetime, but what are you best known for?
Well, I get in trouble an awful lot. People say, when are you going to grow up? And I say, I hope I never grow up. Actually, I've been blessed with a lot of opportunities to make mistakes and to grow. I've had a chance to lecture across the world to people about the ravages of cancer, of people getting cancer to the noses and ears and eyes and facial parts. And that led me into becoming a dental cancer specialist, known as a maxillofacial prosthodontist.
And that took place at MD Anderson, is that correct?
That's correct. That's correct. Did a 2-year residency in Wadsworth VA Medical Center in Los Angeles, and then left Los Angeles in order to come to Texas as quickly as I could.
So you're a Texas boy?
I'm a Texas boy, and I like it there. We keep it moist and hot there all the time, and But then you got into broadcasting. So what led to your getting into radio broadcasting? Well, actually, the first show that I did was back in dental school. And the name of my show was A Bridge Over to Troubled Waters.
I know a little about that myself.
and that is where I enjoyed being in front of the camera. And then later on, when I got into practice in Houston, I had my first show was called Now That Makes Me Mad. And we started bringing people on that had that really did things that made people angry. At least that's what I thought, because shows have a way of turning, and you just have to follow it.
Okay, well, in doing that, and That Makes Me Mad, what led to your writing of books?
Well, back in high school,
That long ago?
That long ago, that's
okay.
right. Back in high school, I was told,
I'm teasing
you'll
you.
never be able to write. And then I moved to St. Louis, and I had a teacher who got a hold of me, Mildred Fredrickson. Bless the heart of that lady. And she said, son, you're a little behind.
Of what?
In writing. She said, I will show you how to pack a sentence with words that people will want to read. And she took me under her wing. And when I was given my best-selling author status, I sent her a copy of the book.
And what was the name of that book?
That was called Wake Up, Live the Life You Love, Living in Abundance.
Lord, that's a mouthful.
I know it. That was why I went into dentistry too. My minister said he thought I should go into ministry, and I thought he said dentistry, and so I went the other direction.
Did you? Now you're trying to be a stand-up comedian. Hello.
And I'm not doing real well. You can tell.
Well, tell us, our viewers, if they wanted to check you out more, what website would that be on?
Well, drkeithrobinson.com is my website, and it's a way that we can kind of get to know each other. So if you go there, please leave me a note. Let me know that you came, and if there's any questions, but I'm not that interesting. But,
well, you know, that's the first thing you don't tell people. I'm going to coach you right here. But one of the things I've learned about you is in understanding the person that you are, and as being a medical doctor and in the field of dentistry, and helping people with something so devastating as cancer, and sometimes it's just not good at different times, obviously. But what I know is that you wanted to share with us about an interview that you had with Jesus. Now, ladies and gentlemen, that would get my attention. So tell us a little about how that came about.
Well, this story came about as a result of a lifetime of experiences.
And I want you to go into that a little before we have our break, okay? And then we'll come back with a full story, but kind of whet our appetite a little bit.
It's a lifetime of experiences that came together and kind of gelled in a story. The story actually came to me one night when I fell asleep in the living room with a big pile of dental floss next to me, well-intentioned dental floss that didn't.
That is a vision I really don't want to hear.
Well, okay, I'm trying to string you along here. That was a terrible pun. Okay. That's awful. Right. I'm so sorry.
Okay, all right.
But as I fell asleep, the Lord put this in my mind, this story, and that story blossomed into the book.
And will you hold that thought? And you stay with us, and we'll be right back with more of Dr. Keith Robinson on his interview with Jesus, right here on Prescription for Healthy Lifestyles.
Prescription for Healthy Lifestyles is brought to you in part by Scott Crump Toyota Scion. Enjoy the latest books from Edie Hand. A portion of sales benefit charities such as St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Visit www.ediehandfoundation.org or your local or online bookstore. Pick up your copies today.
I'm Dr. Keith Robinson, and I want to invite you to take a look at my new book, My Radio Interview with Jesus. I've been in health broadcasting for over 30 years, and I found that at any one point in time, we're either accepting things, we're holding them, or we're having to turn them loose, and that's the hardest part of all. I'd like you to go to my website and pick up a copy of the book. I'm Dr. Keith Robinson.
You're watching Prescription for Healthy Lifestyles with Edie Hand.
Hi, I'm Edie Hand, and welcome back into Prescription for Healthy Lifestyles. We're talking with Dr. Keith Robinson, and we were about to talk about your book. I want people to remind all of you that did not hear this before, maybe, he is a dental oncologist. And tell us again what that is.
Well, a dental oncologist was trained to help people who've lost parts of their face, noses, ears, eyes, facial parts, who were going through chemotherapy or radiation therapy. So it's a very subspecialized area. An awful lot of it is working with the emotions of people that are going through cancer, trying to help them to become whole again.
And something like that brings us to what we'd said in the earlier segment of that led you to writing in this book of an interview with Jesus. And I've read your book, and I know that this takes you through a journey of your life, but I want to get to a little meat of this, is that your journey of your life of being a medical doctor in the dental field, but also what was it like for you being in the studio to transfer from being a medical doctor and being a broadcaster?
Well, actually, most of my work is facilitating. It's helping people to gain access to the information that doctors have in their minds. Many times doctors are very, very good at what they do, but getting information out of them can be kind of difficult sometimes. So my job is to translate, and since I know their field, is to help give them questions that would pull out of them the very best of what they have to say for the listening audience.
Okay, so I want to pull this out of you, is for the interview with Jesus, and this came to you in a dream, correct?
It did.
Share a little bit with our viewers how this impacted your life and why you wanted to share it with so many people at this stage of your life.
At this stage of my life,
I hope you got 20 more years left.
I'm praying that the Lord's going to leave me here for a while, so
I'll talk to him about
I
it.
can practice the
I'll
stuff
have an
that
interview
he's
with him
taught.
and tell him about it, okay?
Well, that's good.
Okay, all right.
Then we'll interview you about your interview with Jesus
Okay.
after that. I guess one of the things that I've found, and after being in broadcasting for 30 years, is that at any moment we are either being given things, we're holding things, or we're turning loose of things.
So true.
And it's easy, I mean, we love having things given to us. We love holding on to things. Turning loose of things that are really important to us, that's so hard. It's so very hard. And the story is about that. It's about the issues that come over a lifetime and the effect that it has upon a major turn.
And in your life, in the short time that we've got left here, what was that, in my opinion, when I read your book, was that a big turning point was the loss of your father?
My dad was my best buddy. And I think about him every day. Every morning when I get up to shave my face, I look in the mirror and I see him. I'm becoming my dad.
Which is a good thing.
Well, I like to think that. He was a tremendous role model. I watched him over a lifetime, and he was my buddy.
So in that interview of Jesus, in that difficult moment of yours, what was it? Take us just in the last minute. What could you tell us of how that interview with Jesus and the passing of your father, how that can help others to make a difference in their life in a life-changing situation like that?
I think so many people believe they're alone. I think there's so many people that are spending time pushing Jesus out of their lives. We pushed him out of our schools. We pushed him out of, we can't say his name in public. We can't pray at football games. And I know that just has got to frustrate him. But he's patient, and he's there for us whenever we need him most. Every chance that I got to work with a cancer patient, it wasn't my words. It was the words that came to me from God and from the years of experience with parents that just loved me. And
so in that interview, as we are wrapping this up, and there's a lot to this book, and you'll want to go to your website to learn more about it. And what is that website again?
drkeithrobinson.com.
Because I know this is so emotional and hard for you. And it is for any of us that have loved and lost. And there's not any of you out there that hasn't. And in this interview with Jesus, I saw that Jesus made the difference in your life that day.
In many days, but in that day specifically.
And if you want to learn more about that, you go to Dr. Keith Robinson's website, and we'll be right back here on Prescription for Healthy Lifestyles after these messages. Thank you, Doc. Prescription for Healthy Lifestyles is brought to you in part by Children's of Alabama, 100 years caring for children. Hi, I'm Edie Hand, and I'm talking with Dr. Varquez. Tell us about your new health program.
I have a health program called Take Shape for Life, and the program is geared towards helping the individual live a long, healthy lifestyle and with maintaining weight loss and healthy habits. And I can be reached at my website at colemanwellness.tsfl.com. Phone number is 256-255-1946.
Thank you. I'm trying it, you try it.
You're watching Prescription for Healthy Lifestyles with Edie Hand.
Hi, I'm Edie Hand, and welcome back into Prescription for Healthy Lifestyles. Talk about healthy lifestyles and ways to make life better for others. I have with me a gentleman that is a genius at that. I want to thank you so much, Doug Murdock, for coming and being on the show and sharing some things to make life better for others.
I hope we can do that.
Well, I think we can after us hanging out a little while and with your lovely bride, Janet.
Yes.
I think that you've got some keys to success.
Well, I have the keys. I need to get them locks that they can open the keys. And that's what brought me here today.
And you know, I'm thrilled because we wanted to bring together our mutual friend with Robert Hubbard and his wife's foundation that they're doing for the children in Asia, Ramini's foundation, and my foundation. And I was so excited when Robert said, wait till you meet Doug. He's got the keys to everything, and he's going to help us make lots of money to give so we can make a difference for the children and the older individuals like myself we're all getting a little older. But how can we make that difference for these children that are needing food? They're orphans. But before you do that, you were an orphan yourself, weren't you?
That's correct.
Is that where
Yeah.
your passion came from?
No,
Doug?
it's actually, my passion came from working, but this all developed when I made a trip to Indonesia. And then went to where Mr. Hubbard is, and I looked out and saw what was going on there, and I says, you know, this is a total crime. And I asked him a lot of questions, what was going on there. And I got there at a time when Romani had to feed these children, and I look out there, and I'm up on the balcony looking down, and half of these kids have no clothes on even. They got no shoes. And if they're sick, they have no hospital. So I says, spoke to Ramini, who is basically, I would classify her as the leader in that town. She's got nothing to do with the government or nothing, but she really cares about all these people.
It's the
And
children
the
that
children.
they're orphans,
Children,
no food.
no food, no parents. And I says, we got to do something about this, and I think I can do it. So in the next 24 hours, I'm going to come up with an idea. Next day, I came up with an idea. I says, I deal a lot of business in China. I talk to huge companies that want me to work for them, to take them and raise money for them.
I just want to inject this, that you have been a trustee of people's money for many, many years to help them grow their wealth.
That's right, quite a lot of years. And I've been running back and forth through China, Asia, Germany, Russia. I was in Russia before the perestroika, and I've seen what was happening all over the world, primarily with children. So that got me focused on this. So now when I talk to a company, I says, listen, how much money do you want to raise? I keep it simple so they can understand. They say $10 million. I said, $10 million, I'm not interested, it's too small. $20 million. I says, well, 20, 25 million is fine. I'll be glad to work with you. You fill the criteria that I need, I will raise you $50 million. 25 million for you and 25 million for my foundation to feed the children. And since this all transpired in the last 45, 50 days or 60 days, I've talked to 5 companies, not one of them said no.
What an amazing thing. I'm telling you, Doug, this is something that I want our viewers, we're going to take a little break, but I want to say this, is that before we do and come back, is that I want you then to elaborate more on what these corporations are doing that entrusted you with their money, but are saying yes, not only to grow their wealth, but they are saying yes to feed the children and make a difference in joining our foundations that you will head up for what we're doing in Asia, what we're doing here in the United States for foundations like St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. So you'll stay with us and we'll be right back after these messages.
Prescription for Healthy Lifestyles is brought to you in part by our charities, the Edie Hand Foundation and Ramini Kids Foundation.
Hi, I'm Edie Hand, and I want to celebrate our kids globally. It's RaminiKidsFoundation.com and the Edie Hand Foundation.org. We're doing this through our Genuine Pearl Girls for acts of kindness. And if you'd like to join us, all you have to do is log on to GenuinePearlGirls.com. Make a difference for a child today.
You're watching Prescription for Healthy Lifestyles with Edie Hand.
Hi, I'm Edie Hand, and welcome into Prescription for Healthy Lifestyles. And joining me is Brice Marsh. He is the chairperson for Keeping Christmas Alive. Now, see, you got your button on there. Yeah. What does that mean?
Well, keeping Christmas alive is the purpose of keeping Christ in Christmas. And we're having it here in Birmingham this time, and what our mission is to reclaim Christmas, proclaim the birth of Christ, and to exclaim that the old-fashioned traditional sacred Christmas can be fun, festive, and joyful for the entire family.
You know, that's terrific, because I have been a part of some of your events when you had them in Huntsville, and the storytelling, the beautiful music. It was just exciting. Now, who's headlining this year?
Well, we have the Booth Brothers. They're some of the most outstanding gospel music group in the whole country. And
that's pretty terrific. Now, who's going to MC it for us this year?
Oh, Bob Smith. He's been our MC for 7 years in Huntsville, and he's coming back, and he's one of the outstanding tenor singers also.
His voice just, it will bring you to tears and just put a smile on your heart. No doubt about it. And who else we got?
The Voices of Lee from Lee University in Cleveland, Tennessee. And they were the runners-up and sing out on national television.
Well, you know, the lead singers, to me, you can't get any better than that group, because they're praising the Lord and they have all the talent in the world, and a lot of them have music scholarships.
Absolutely.
And you've got some new additions this year.
Yeah, the Redemption Road Quartet. Some of them are graduates from Lee and had been part of the Voices of Lee in previous years. And we got Frank Jones, who is Mr. Piano for the Alabama Baptist. He'll be there.
And Frank Jones, now, I've heard him play, he's a beautiful pianist, correct?
Oh, yes. He is an outstanding pianist. He goes all over the state and even part of South Alabama and southeastern United States. And,
you know, I'm honored again to be a part of telling stories, and you have allowed me to share some of my stories to touch hearts.
Well, you're going to be there in Living Cover this year, and we're looking forward to having you there this time.
Thank you.
And Austin Foster is going to be there this time for the first time as well.
Now, Austin, what does Austin do?
He's a young soloist, and he's well known throughout Alabama, and he's just finished up his school at South Alabama at Mobile, and he's coming to do his extra work at Samford University now.
Well, what I'd like to know is, what's your website and what time do all the festivities start so we can get people there?
It'll be at the Wright Center at Samford University at 2 p.m. on November 22nd, and they can get their tickets by going to tickets.samford.edu, and the website is www.keepchristmasalive.org.
Well, I know that you'll all want to come out and to see this. And Brice, you have done a terrific job all these years. You've been such a selfless person. I've watched you from afar, do a lot of hard work, and you've really done it to keep Jesus' name out there and to really keep Christmas alive.
Well, I've got a teammate this time helping me. Lee has been working with me tirelessly, and we've been working together as a team.
You know, I know your lovely bride, and she is not only beautiful inside, but outside, and I know that she is a hard worker, and I think she knew the Booth brothers' mother. Is that correct?
That's right.
So see, not only did you have a good helper this time, but you had a little inside to get some celebrities,
absolutely.
Right?
She's responsible for getting the Booth brothers book this time.
Well, I want to thank you so much for coming out and being a part of the show right here on Prescription for Healthy Lifestyles. And give us that website one more time.
www.keepchristmasalive.org.
And you won't want to miss it. And we hope you tune us in next time right here on Prescription for Healthy Lifestyles.